The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, I say this to you who are listening. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who treat you badly. To the man who slaps you on one cheek, present the other cheek too. To the man who takes your cloak from you, do not refuse your tunic. Give to anyone who asks you, and do not ask for your property back from the man who robs you. Treat others as you would like them to treat you. If you love those who love you, what thanks can you expect? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what thanks can you expect? Even sinners do that much. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive, what thanks can you expect? Even sinners lend to sinners to get back the same amount. Instead, love your enemies and do good, and lend without any hope of return. You will have a great reward, and you will be sons of the Most High, for he himself is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be compassionate, as your Father is compassionate. Do not judge, and you will not be judged yourselves. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned yourselves. Grant pardon, and you will be pardoned. Give, and there will be gifts for you, a full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap, because the amount you measure out is the amount you will be given back. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, O Lord Jesus Christ.
I'm not sure that the seat belts will help you today. Eh? So you better make sure the airbags deployed. You know, there's a long debate on what's peculiar about Christian morality. What is specific about Christian morality? Is Christian ethics and morality the same as everyone else or not? And I'll say to you that what is peculiar about Christian morality is in this text. It is here. Most forms of morality start off with the premise of justice. An eye for an eye, Anna? That's justice. You take my eye, take back your eye. You take my tooth, I take back your tooth. We learned that since we were knee high, because since we were that high, we knew what fairness meant. And we had a sense of fairness, that something is either fair or unfair. And a lot of the arguments with siblings was really about fairness, not so? You all remember that? Eh? You take the bigger half of the cake, correct? How a cake could have a bigger half, but anyway. And you got this and I didn't get that. And that sense of fairness is instilled in us ever since we were knee high. It's the basic code of the human being. That life is supposed to be fair, and whenever something is unfair, it really rankles us deep, deep, deep inside. You all with me so far? And that sense of fairness actually is part of the fight and flight mechanism in our reptilian brain. That when something happens that seems to be unfair, before you even know it, you are flying into action to defend what you believe to be unfair that is being done to you. So far, so good? All you know about that mechanism that you find yourself shooting out words, actions that you didn't even know that they would come, and halfway in flight you say, what am I doing here today? You all are with me on this? Okay. So justice is really based on fairness. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, which we kind of, find strange today, was actually an upgrade of the justice code. It was an upgrade. Because before that, if somebody took your eye and you were a little bit stronger than them, you'd obliterate their whole family. And so the eye for the eye and the tooth for the tooth was an upgrade of what happened before, because what happened before was not about fairness or justice. It was about power and about might. And so you come at me and I will obliterate you was how the code was. And so an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth was actually limiting the revenge that you can take to only what was done wrong to you. And that was an upgrade within the Jewish law. And you know how every year is upgrade your operating system? Well, this is an upgrade on the operating system. The 2.1 was an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. This is 3.1. And this one is much harder for us human beings. You see, with fairness, although revenge will want you to do more than fairness requires or allows, at least you understand why you stop with what is fair. Correct? With this one that we have here today, this is not about fairness. This is about mercy. So at first you have revenge. Second operating system, you have justice. Third operating system, now we have mercy. And with mercy, it's not about getting back revenge. It's not about getting back an exact recrimination for what was done wrong. With mercy, it's about doing something very, very different that does not go in the normal way in which we human beings work. It's actually counterintuitive to us human beings. So here Jesus now. And this is in the text of, remember we're still in the Sermon on the Plain in Luke's Gospel. It has 3 parts. So we had last week the Beatitudes. This is our second part. And in the second part, he's calling attention. Jesus said to his disciples, I say this to you who are listening. So to hear this text, you have to be? God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You're supposed to listen twice as much as we speak, but we know that justice don't work on us either. Love your enemies. You know what I love about this? There's a realism here. Jesus at least acknowledges that he knows who we are. We will have enemies. Isn't that consoling? Huh? He never said don't have enemies, He never said that. That would be pushing things a little too far. But what he does say is love your enemies. An enemy is not necessarily somebody that you have made an enemy. An enemy is also somebody who has made you their enemy. There are many people who make you their enemy without you wanting to be an enemy. And it's not as if you had a say in the game. They've made you their enemy. And when you find yourself with an enemy, what you're supposed to do is say, thank you, Jesus, finally, I get the opportunity to live this gospel reading. I am so excited. I don't know what to do next. And? Help me now. And? Oh God, all you leaving me, man. And? Love your enemies. And just in case you didn't understand, the word love here is agape, which is self-sacrificial love. This is not eros, which is passionate love, or phileo, which is friendship. This is agape. This is sacrificial love. And anytime you're not sure what that means, just look behind me here at the cross. That's agape. That's agape. That's what love your enemies means. Giving yourself completely to those who could not understand what love is. The cross is the greatest sign of love that we will ever see on this side of the earth. It is God who gave himself so completely to us out of love that he gave all that he has. And what did we do? What did we do? We made him our enemy. We made him our enemy. We brutally beat him. Brutally we treated him. Brutally we hung him on a cross, and brutally he died. So what does Jesus say to do with your enemies? He says, love them. He goes on again, in case you're not sure what love is. Do good to those who hate you. Say it with me now. A man behind me bought pressure. I don't know, you know. Pressure, he say, pressure. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Are you hearing this? Huh? No. Are you really hearing this? Huh? Lord, merciful Father, have mercy on us. And here's where Jesus is going. Love your enemies. Your actions towards your enemy is not supposed to be retribution, and is not supposed to be exacting vengeance, or even exacting justice. Love your enemies. You're supposed to do good to them. So 101 and 201 get wiped out in a swash. Now you're supposed to do good to them. You're supposed to love them. That means doing good to them first. Second, bless them who curse you. So long time ago, when people put a curse on you, what you do? You know, they had a calypso, if they jam you. And what Jesus is saying is, no. If they curse you, you pray for them. You pray for them. You see, even in popular culture in Trinidad and Tobago, somebody do you bad, you set 2 crystals on their head, you go on that by mother so-and-so, and you get this and that, and you organize them properly. And what is the Christian supposed to do? Pray for them. Pray for them. That means you bring them into your intercessory prayers. You don't pray on their head, eh? I ain't telling you pray on their head. Let me be very careful what I'm telling you here. You pray for good to happen to them. You pray for their good. You pray for their good. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who treat you badly. So you hear how Jesus cascades it. Love those who love your enemies, do good, bless them, and pray for those who treat you badly. That's the cascade. That's the cascade. Look back at the cross for a moment now. Look back at the cross for a moment. What did Jesus do with his enemies? He loved us to his dying breath. He did good for us to his dying breath. When on the cross he said, Father, forgive them, They know not what they do. He's doing two things at the same time. He's giving us a blessing, the blessing of forgiveness from the Father. And he's loving us because he's not exacting vengeance from us. He's actually saying, oh God, Papa, they really ain't, they really ain't getting this one. He's excusing us for the worst villainy that humanity has ever done. He's excusing us. If you want to know what this passage looks like in action, you have to meditate on the cross and see in the cross the living out of this text. But you know, when you hold anger to somebody, who does it hurt the most? Does it hurt them? Who does it hurt? It hurts us. If I'm holding anger to somebody, I am the one who is being hurt here. And you know how we do it like the dog with the bone. You ever see a dog have a nice big ham bone? Dig, 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 and hide the bone. Then the dog gone around without the bone for a long time, and something triggered that dog, and it dig back up that bone with the bone. Isn't that us? Huh? And what Jesus is saying to us is that we are to love, we are to do good, we are to bless, and we are to pray for. I want you to today, I want you to do something. Today, not tomorrow, today. I want you to spend some time in quiet about somebody who might consider themselves your enemy, or made themselves your enemy, or you have made yourself their enemy, whichever side of the coin it is, and pray for them. If you're not sure what to do, pray a decade of the rosary. Ask God's blessings upon them. Ask God to bless them in some fundamental way that would allow their life to be rich and prosperous. You pray and ask God's blessing upon their lives. And ask God to really give them that grace. There's a wonderful story from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa. A woman who went before the commission, and there was a police officer who had killed her husband. And he, as part of the commission, he had to tell the whole story. But in telling the story, it also emerged that he had also killed her son, her only son. Her husband and her only son. And he told that story too. And at the end of that, the commissioner asked her, is there anything you'd like to say? And she said, you know, I have lost everything. My husband and my only son. And I have nothing left in this world, really. But I still have so much love left in me. I would like this officer to come by me once a month, that I could make dinner for him. And I could at least share my love with him. You think you have problems? Yeah? Come on. You think you have problems? You think you have reason for vengeance and hatred? Do you? You think somebody has done you really something that badly that is worse than what this woman received? Her husband and her only son? Brothers and sisters, if we understand the gospel message, what we have to understand is that this is the only way we will build a society of justice and peace, by becoming a people of mercy. He goes on and talks about the man who slaps you on one cheek, give him the other cheek too, one time. Don't wait. The man who takes your cloak from you, don't refuse your tunic. In other words, if you want your clothes, give him your underwear one time. That's what that is, you know. Oh, you want it? Oh, you want it? Don't refuse your underwear. Just go naked. There's some humor in the gospel, you know. Some deep humor if you understand it. And then the next one is give to everyone who asks you. And don't ask them back for your property. Good Lord. No justice, eh? No justice. Mercy. Mercy. From the man who robs you. Treat others as you would like them to treat you. And now he invokes the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But he takes the golden rule and he upgrades the golden rule from justice to mercy. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You know, one of the most amazing things with us human beings is when another person has done bad to us, we want justice. But when we do bad to another person, we want mercy. You ever realize that? Think about it. Somebody do you real badness. What do you want? You want justice. You want the eye for the eye. You want the pound of flesh for the pound of flesh. You want the tooth. You do something bad, oh God, oh God, oh God. Have mercy on men and man. How come we know mercy when we have done wrong? But when another has done wrong, what we know is justice. And what Jesus is saying is this has to be reversed. When other people have done wrong to us, we have to show mercy to them. When we have done wrong, we have to expect justice. And it really should be that way. If we receive mercy, thanks be to God. He goes on to say, and this is why this is a higher rule. Even sinners, if you love those who love you, what thanks can you expect? Even sinners love sinners. Do they not? If you do good to those who do good to you, what can you expect? Even sinners do as much. If you lend to those who will repay, there's nothing in that. Two thieves will do the same thing. That's not a morality of any height. If you want to take morality to the place where Jesus carries us, then you have to understand we have to give without expecting to receive. We have to forgive when we were wronged. And we have to show mercy when justice is what we want. And it ends up in the crescendo. Be compassionate or be merciful as your Father is merciful. Say that with me. Be as your Father is merciful. Be merciful as your Father is merciful. You see, brothers and sisters, the truth of who God is mercy. And this is not a New Testament concept. In Exodus on Sinai, God revealed this. The Lord, the merciful, the loving, the tender, the God of mercy was how God was revealed to Moses. Be merciful. Because if we're going to be like God, we have to move from vengeance to justice. And then we have to move from justice to mercy. Gandhi once said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth will leave a half-blind, toothless world. And it's true, eh? But a merciful people would leave an enlightened people and a people of non-violence. This text is asking for a radical commitment to non-violence. That's what it's asking. This is a commitment to non-violence. That we become a people of peace, a people of mercy, and a people of love. Amen?